Steve King is a congressman from Iowa's 4th District, a seat he's held for the last 16 years. He sits on the prestigious House Judiciary Committee. He was the national co-chair of Ted Cruz's presidential campaign. White nationalists love him, and he seems to love them too. In an interview this week with the New York Times, King said, quote, "White nationalist, white supremacist, Western civilization. How did that language become so offensive?" After widespread condemnation, King took to the House floor last hour to try and defend himself.
I reject those labels and the evil ideology that they define. Further, I condemn anyone that supports this evil and bigoted ideology.
It sure appears as though it's part of Congressman King's ideology, though. Speaking to MSNBC back in July 2016, King openly stated that no group had done more to advance the human race than white people. Quote, "Where did any other subgroup of people contribute more to civilization?" In 2015, he tweeted this cartoon of President Obama wearing a turban, promoting the right-wing conspiracy theory that Obama is secretly a Muslim. And later that year, when asked about the children of immigrants, he said, quote, "For everyone who's a valedictorian, there's another 100 out there that weigh 130 pounds, and they've got calves the size of cantaloupes because they're hauling 75 pounds of marijuana across the desert." And last year, King visited with an Austrian group linked to the country's far-right Freedom Party, which was founded by a former Nazi SS officer. There's more. King's comments are nothing new, but what is truly unbelievable is how they inspire the same tired response from some of his fellow Republicans. Condemn the comments, defend the man, and defend the man. Reacting to this week's controversy, GOP whip Steve Scalise criticized King's language while seemingly absolving him from any wrongdoing because he backtracked slightly. Quote, "I think it is offensive to try and legitimize those terms. I think it is important that he rejected that kind of evil." While newly minted NRCC Chairman Tom Emmer gave King some leeway. "I disagree with his statements as they've been characterized and as I understand them." But there is pressure building against King and his rhetoric. Senator Tim Scott, the only black Republican in the Senate, wrote in the Washington Post, quote, "Some in our party wonder why Republicans are constantly accused of racism. It's because of our silence when things like this are said." Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush branded King's language unconscionable and racist and called for a primary challenge to the congressman. And House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said, quote, "Steve's language is reckless, wrong, and has no place in our society." But herein lies the problem for McCarthy and the GOP. Steve King's language may have no place in our society, but as of now, it does have a place on the House floor, representing the Republican Party. And as long as some in leadership are willing to treat him with kid gloves or condemn his language as they continue to court his vote on legislation, Steve King and his racism are here to stay.